The reason financial decisions are so important is because they're so consequential and impactful on our lives. This definitely applies to personal life and for businesses and corporations as well. A lot of these decisions are very irreversible, hence have a long-term impact on an organization or on your personal life. The options need to be weighed very thoroughly to ensure that the impact is not so detrimental. Going back to the last videos covered in the past 2 weeks, we were referring to finances and the importance of how effective decision-making in finances lead the way to improved outcomes. Decisions when it comes to finances are no simple matter. There are a lot of variables to consider, and ultimately, the consequences impact your life in a great way, whether it comes to personal or business finance. This is why information gathering is very critical in every step. Decisions impacted by financial information lead to major impact. When it comes to personal finances, making a decision based on the information that you carry would enable you to make the right choice. When it comes to budgets, when it comes to spending, when it comes to investing or saving, and ultimately, these factors impact your life in a major way. That is why effective management of your personal finances is a very important practice. The first step in managing personal finances is budgeting. This is the method in which you would gather information based on the budgets to be set on each of the categories of your spending areas, and according to that, maintaining your spending within budget. This has to do with expenses, requirements for living, and also simple luxuries. But ultimately, without gathering information and being observant, it is not possible to make decisions based on what budget to set or how much you should be spending in each category. That is why decision making starts with the first step of observing and gathering information. Hence, surveillance. Analyzing this information is when you would set budgets and also decide how much percentage of your finances will go to each category. This is the scrutiny part of your decision-making process. Ultimately, once you make a decision, hence setting budgets and deciding on what to do with your finances, you need to stand firm on these decisions. This is the steadfastness, or the third S, in your decision-making process. Carrying that forward into business finance. It's more or less the same process, but at a much larger scale and impacting corporations and, of course, a greater group. The employees, the people that are working around this business that are making it successful. The 3 S's apply likewise. However, so many different variables are impacted here. Hence, the process takes much longer to go through these 3 S's. A lot more information, figures, facts are required to be gathered, analyzed, and hence a decision to be made. Here, a collective decision is required, often in the form of, say, shareholders, board of directors, and other people within the hierarchy. But at the end of the day, if you simply apply these 3 S's in matters of finance, life would be much simpler in making decisions that impact your life in a great way. The importance here is that decisions based on finances, again, whether it's personal or business finance, are often very significant because the wrong decision may be irreversible. That is why careful scrutiny is required here. That second S is where most of the effort needs to be poured to ensure that we reach a successful third S. This process takes a long time right at the beginning. However, if the right process is applied with the correct information that's been gathered, it will allow smooth sailing in the future. Much less effort and time will be put into decisions that are consequential after the fact. The domino effect here would be much smoother and much more successful if the effort is put right at the start, meaning when you're setting these domino pieces right at the beginning to ensure that they fall smoothly and in the correct path. Put in the effort now. Make sure to set your domino pieces in the correct path and aligned properly, so that your future would look much brighter and effortless. This is a book I highly recommend. It's been recommended to me by somebody who's taught me a lot over the years. It's called The Decision Book. It tells you a lot about different models in terms of how to think strategically in making decisions. It lays out some framework to enable you to make decisions effectively in terms of understanding complex topics in a much simpler way.